Hey y'all, welcome back to the Be Like D channel. It's your girl D coming back with another review of Real Housewives of Potomac season 6 episode 14. Okay, so the episode starts off with, where we left off last episode, Sally tossed in the face of Candace. And then Candace tossed it back. And then Mia is walking off, and then because Candace told her, "Why don't you go home, go in your room and cry about it or whatever," right? So Karen trying to jump in, trying to tell her, "No, do you know about her situation? Do you know about her mom?" And the whole time Candace is like, "I don't care, I don't care, I don't care." And then Mia is mad. Then she when she comes back, she was like, "Let me tell you something about my mother." But then Candace like, "I don't care, I don't care." She's like, "I'm proud of my mother. My mother is a recovering drug addict." And she's like, "Be proud, be proud, be proud. I don't care, I don't care, I don't care." So it's like, it sounds harsh. Candace is like you being real angry for like the littlest thing to me. Like, she could have done worse. If she done worse, if it had been you and Ashley, then I get the anger behind it. But I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, you going real hard at Mia right now. And I don't think it calls for it. But okay, so I don't care, whatever. I don't care about your sob story. I don't care about your sob story, right? So then Mia, she slammed the thing on the table, and I don't know if she knew if it was glass or not, because I feel like I don't think she would have intentionally broke that, but then she did. And then the guys outside, they all like, "Oh, glass breaking! Oh shit! Hold on, salad." And then Candace is throwing stuff, talking about she needs to watch her mouth, yada, yada, yada. And then Karen is still, after Mia leaves, Karen is still trying to calm Candace down, tell her, does she know about her story? You might want to change a bit. You might want to change a bit because you don't know her story. Do you know her story? And she's like, I don't care. And she's like, well, okay, you don't care. You have a right to not care. Okay. Karen was like, all right, I'm done. And the whole time she's standing to the side just watching it like, all right now. It hurt if that girl hop on your ass. If that girl hop on your ass, okay? Because yes, we do need to leave mamas out of it. People keep trying to say, no, it's fair game, everything fair game, blah, blah, blah. But no, it's not. No, it's not. Because the minute Mia says anything negative about your mama, she didn't say nothing negative about your mama. All she did was say your video shoot was low budget. But as Candace did say, that she's like, how does she not know that I have a trigger of saying something, that she was low budget? That's true too, because I was like, okay, that's kind of true too. But at the same time, I know both of them are wrong in the situation. They both have done some shady, messy stuff. The thing that Mia did was shady, but Candace's comment is always a little deeper than what it needs to be. But as always, people try to say what they need to say to win an argument, and that's kind of not the right people you need to be fucking with, period. So that's how I feel about that. Okay, so after Karen trying to make Candace clarify that she did not know about Mia's mama when she made the first low budget comment. And then she's like, no, I didn't know, but I don't care, her sob story, because she keep running her mouth and, whatever. So I'm like, what other thing did she say? I don't know. And did I miss it? I feel like she going real hard, and it ain't that necessary, but whatever. So then the comic relief is the guys. They in the other room. They like, he said, well, Mia, something like that, Chris. And then what the hell is Wendy? Eddie. He says, I don't know. They told the pimp to go get his hoe. And then Chris was like, oh, who? He said, my wife, Candace. And then Eddie, I like, I'm not gonna say, but deductive reasoning. And Chris like, he like, God damn it. How I'm gonna clean this shit up? Candace, you a whole mess. Like, you going too hard, okay? It gotta be necessary, girl. It gotta be necessary. Okay, so now Chris goes in to try to talk the situation down. As soon as she see Chris, she's like, oh, I'm about to get in trouble. Like, so then you know what you're saying is reckless. So you know, like, Candace, like, you just know how to be annoying. She an annoying little thing, ain't she? She has some good funny ones, but then when she do this one, it's too nasty. Okay, so I like this analogy that Candace just said and didn't even realize she was doing it to me. Okay, because she just said that, yeah, she telling Chris, yeah, I threw 2 pieces of lettuce at her and she just threw the whole salad. That's the same thing you doing to her. She said one little shady thing to you, and now you going hard. You going hard. It's overkill, girl. Overkill. So how you trying to act like she was extra for throwing out the whole salad at you? You doing extra for going at her real hard about her family and her life like that. Like, it's too much. You're doing too much, okay? Okay, so now I get this part that Mia says also. So Mia said, well, Karen is trying to give her a pep talk. She's telling her, don't let nobody let you feel that way or feel down like that or feel like you're, lower or whatever it was, and not even your mom. And then she was like, and I don't feel that, but I feel like somebody that's that ruthless will make me feel that way. And I'm like, okay, Mia's trying to think of what her mom is going to see. That's what she's thinking about. Like, I don't want my mom to feel that way, that people think that she's low budget, even though it was a comment in an argument. You don't know how the mama gonna take it. So I get that part too. So Mia is like, I don't want that to be an effect. And then that's also what she says after that. But also, you can't, like she said and I said, you can't be dealing with nobody that can go that low, okay? Not everybody gonna fight the same. Just like Monique hopped on that ass, you should have hopped on that ass. Now I'm playing. Okay, so Candace is talking to Chris, and she's saying that Mia wanted smoke, so she got smoking. She invited her into the room, yada yada yada. And then on the other flip side, Mia is talking to Karen and Wendy, and she's telling them, and Ashley's in the room, and she's telling them that how she grew up and she had to defend for herself, and she don't want Candace to put her in a place like that to where she feel like she gotta be combative. I guess that's what she meant by it. But she's saying if her mama relapsed because of that, bitch, she better catch her ass outside. And I was like, okay, Mia. But I don't know if that would be Candace's fault. But Mia did make a point to me because she said, well, the scholar was telling her that I think that comment you made about her video shoot being low budget really hurt her. And then Mia says, well, if that hurt her, she should have come to me and told me that. So true. Communication, right? This all could have been avoided, y'all, if Candace would have just said, I didn't appreciate you calling my video shoot low budget and talking to my mom and asking her questions about my business. That's all she had to do. But Candace chose a different route. She had to get nasty. Ugh. Now a scholar says to Mia that, well, that's kind of harsh to say. And then Mia was like, no, because when I was starting out in a new business, everything was low budget, of course. It's like, because we got to save the pennies, honey. And I was like, okay, Mia. See, this is why Mia is a little bit more likable than Candace right now. Because Candace, she still want to be riled up, have a funny moment in between. Because Mia, she went from crying a little bit, and then now she did this, and it was kind of funny to me, but I don't know. And then Candace still out there yelling. She's still out there yelling like, girl, you doing the most. And then now I agree with Chris, because he said that isn't the way she reacting making her seem insecure about something, So it's kind of like, yeah, y'all both projecting. It's both of y'all. It's really both of them, but Candace just more nasty. Then the scholar asked Mia, does she talk about money a lot and stuff like that because she didn't have it as a kid, basically. And then Mia says, no, I talk about it because I work my ass off. Okay, I work my ass off. I'm like, girl, it's the same thing. She basically saying the same thing because she is always mentioning, oh, this is low budget. Oh, this is where the event gonna be. Oh, okay, it's a warehouse. Like everything she act like she too good for, right? Just like I said last episode, when her and G like, valet, like, girl, you just happy to finally have stuff, so you overdo it, okay? And then for some reason, Candace is having, I guess, is she having financial issues? Is that what your problem is right now? Because you putting all into your business, so you ain't really got no ends, and mommy not giving you that much money for it. Is that what your problem is? Because you getting real mad about this low budget comment, right? It ain't that deep to me. You know, I would have just laughed it off like, bitch, I ain't low budget, you low budget. But you ain't have to go to her mama. Like, that's the best thing that came to your head. Like, you just popping off and you just say your mama. Is that what you had? Really? It was a weak read that went real deep, right? And so now Skylar's trying to tell her, can we just have fun, turn everything around, everything be good? And Mia said, I think she said no, but then she said because her mom has said that every day she has not thought about, doing drugs again. And she's like, so I even curve things that I say to her, so she doesn't feel, away or, revert back to what she's going to do. Because Mia don't know what can trigger her mom. She just know her mom was not there, and drugs was a strong addiction for her mother that she couldn't even be a mother to her. So I get that, right? And then Mia is saying that, like I said, Mia said that she doesn't know, hearing somebody call her low budget, she doesn't know how that's going to affect her mother. And that she just knows it's gonna hurt her, and she don't know how she gonna deal with that hurt. So that is kind of sad. That's it's a little hard. And then Candace is outside screaming and yelling, talking about how she needs to mind her manners, and she been starting to mess with everybody, yada yada yada. And Chris was trying to talk some sense. Chris was making sense, saying that you already addressed it with her once. So if you keep addressing it again, you showing that you're insecure about it too. And then she's like, no. I'm like, yes, it is. But then Candace also makes a point like she coming at what she worked hard for. So then I'm like, okay, I get that too. You want to say, nah, bitch, don't be talking about what I got going on over here. You can say that. But you ain't got to. It was just a quick moment. I think it really was a quick, like, your mama. Like, she ain't had nothing else. She said, your mama. But after that, I feel like after that moment, it was fine. But on this trip, after you call her mama, when you throw it back in her face, after they mention the mama again, they trying to tell you something, obviously, right? But she's saying, yeah, mama's a broke bitch. Oh, yeah, well, my mama wasn't in the curb and stuff like that. So it was a lie. Candy's like, damn, girl. But anyway, so he trying to tell her to calm down and relax. When you responding constantly, you showing that it bothers you, which is true. Like, if it wouldn't have been brought up after that, everybody, it would have been dead. It would have been dead, Candace. But now it's all low budget this, and I was hurt that, and now you always find another way to divide the damn people that watch this show, because we see points in both sides, of course, and I still think both of y'all just wrong, but you just going too far. That's all that is. Both of y'all wrong for what happened, but you going too far with the shit, and it's getting like, overkill. Can we move on to the next? So Mia saying that she can't deal with people that's like that, or that might put her in that place where she got to act out of character. So she think it's best if she just leave. And Karen is really trying to sell it. Karen is like, no, you're past that. We're good. Everything's fine. We're just going to move on. Did anybody catch how fast Karen was talking? It was like she was trying to really make a sale. Okay. Like, stay. No. Chris outside still trying to calm Candace down. And he like, okay, why don't you do one thing for me? And she's like, I'm not apologizing to that bitch. And then Chris was like, no, just go in there and say to Mia. I say to Mia, and then she's like, I'm not talking to her. And he's like, no, listen, just listen. I'm like, oh, Chris, I know you got. How? Look, how are you dealing with this? How? Is she like another kid for you? Because, you gotta coach her through how to talk to people, about her feelings. Like, too much work. But anyway, so he like, listen. Just go in there and say, Mia, if you don't disrespect me, I'm not gonna disrespect you, and leave it at that. And then she like, maybe, or whatever. I'm like, yeah, that's pretty much what we need to just leave it. Like, just kill it, because I'm done. I'm kind of over it. I'm over it already, man. Here we go, switching gears around here. Okay, so now they're Mia, G, and Karen are in the hallway, and they're trying to see if she's gonna stay or not. And she's like, well, I don't know. And then Karen was like, well, cooler heads will prevail. If you want to stay, you should stay. And then G was like, the guy's good. It's y'all women folk. Why are you? He's still drunk. I'm sorry. And when they was arguing and throwing the salad after the salad, he still was just standing there. I was like, what is he doing? And Mia had already walked off. He was standing there. That was funny. But anyway, so he like, it's y'all women folk. And then Kim was like, that's right. Well, we're loud. We're all opinionated, loud, sensitive. And then here comes G talking like, Karen, why you looking so good? And throwing his tongue out, right? And Karen was like, oh. She was like, well, I'm having a 25th anniversary. But then he started licking his tongue and stuff. He was like, oh, I'm going to tell Ray. I'm going to tell Ray. And then me was like, you're going to get in trouble. You're going to get in trouble. So I was like, this was a like ill G moment, but then it was also funny. He lightened the mood. I don't know if he did that on purpose or not, but it was funny. And then Karen was like, Mia, control your husband, okay? Control your husband. All right, I'm gone. I'm gone. And then Mia was like, I can't control him. I'm like, oh, girl, I see. Yeah, and Mia was saying that Candace can talk about how her husband met her at the strip club, and then his drunk ass, I met you at the strip club. And then Karen was like, street? See, this is what we need, the funny, okay? So then he was like, no, he did meet her when she was a waitress. And then Mia's like, yes, waitress, And then he was like, and then you was an entertainer. You was And then she's like, And then he was like, but no, I really would just like to sit and talk to her, and not request her and give her X amount of money and request her just to sit and talk with me. And then she was like, yes, $10,000 for like 2 hours. And he's like, don't be telling them all that. And then in Ashley confessional, she went out and she was like, that's a lot of money to just be sitting down and talking. It's a lot of money. And I'm like, duh. Like, duh, that's where it started. Like, obviously, I feel like he would have kept requesting her, She probably danced for him, and then he was like, well, sit and talk to me. And then it became more, But I'm sure that's how it started. Now we got Chris in the kitchen sweeping up the lettuce and stuff. And he the only one cleaning up. Wendy and Eddie done rented the house, and they ain't cleaning up. And Chris over there cleaning up. And then Ashley comes in and she's like, oh, that's nice, but like under her breath or whatever. And then he was like, well, Ashley, I know you and my wife don't get along that well, but, and me and Michael don't get along that well, but I want to say congratulations to you and your second baby, and motherhood looks good on you. I still follow you on Instagram. And then she was like, oh, well, thank you, but your wife called me wide. And he was like, yeah, she used a lot of adjectives. Now you got everybody going to their rooms. Finally, oh goodness, this is long. They ain't even started the trip and it already feel long. Oh my gosh. Okay, so they all going to their rooms. Gia like, honey, where you at? He doing his tongue thing. And she's like, I'm right here. Simmer down. Come on. I'm like, yes, please try to get him under control, child. But anyway, so Karen and Ashley are in Ashley's room, and then it was like, oh, Ashley was saying she missed her family or whatever, and she was like, Karen was like, yeah, I'm ready to go home. I'm like, you convincing me to stay, but you want to go home. But anyway, she was like, no, when I walked through that door and I saw Sally start flying, I was like, what the hell happened to our Zen moment? I'm like, yeah, just imagine. They wasn't even there for all the stuff that happened before. They just come in, and it's just like, what? Karen in her confessional talking about it. She's like, it's already, I'm seeing salad tossing or tongue all out his mouth, all crazy. That was a good confession to Karen. And when she was saying, do he know who he talking to? The ambassador of Siri County. So now Wendy and the scholar show up in the room with Ashley and Karen, and they're talking about it. I was like, oh Lord. Wendy said something about they stole her moment. I was like, what moment? What, your hosting moment or something? I guess. But they were saying, and Karen was like, yeah, I could have stayed home if I wanted to toss some salad. I can toss a salad. And then they was like, you know what that is, right? They was like, you can't toss your own salad. And then she was like, they got another meaning. She's like, what meaning they got? She was like, oh Lord, oh no, I'm getting remarried. Let me get up and get out of here. And they all laughing like, nah, girl, you can eat your own ass. Eat that ass. Yes, we back to the funny, okay? Everybody off in their rooms getting comfortable and shit. And then it's funny because G done fell asleep on me when she was on the phone and shit. Told you that he was drinking too much. Now he going to sleep. And she started laughing. I'm like, at least you know, girl. At least you know. But anyway, so then Ashley is in her room and she trying to get on the phone with somebody because, she want to be messy and tell them what happened. Because she was trying to do a FaceTime. She's like, come on, Michael, somebody. I need somebody to talk to. Somebody to go and be messy with. That's what you're going to do. Y'all finna be in the room, kikiing on the phone, talk about them. In Candace's confessional, she says that she has nothing else to say to that girl, referring to Mia. So I'm like, okay, don't have nothing else to say because I'm already over this, y'all. I am over it. I don't want to hear about it no more, okay? It should have been dead. It did not need to be that far. Had gone this far, okay? It should have not gone this far. And then also, Mia is in her room getting ready, and then she says in her confessional that this is a group of black women that's coming together. I think she said this like educated or whatever, and she was like, but apparently none of us know how to act, self included. I'm like, okay, she know how to throw a good joke at herself a lot, and I feel like Candace doesn't. And then I feel like Candace is like, are you pulling a Monique like you're more angry than you should be? Well, that's what it's coming off as. Like, you're being more angry than you should be. Because that's how Monique was coming off last season, too.
Oh, you're so angry.
That's how you coming off. You're a little too angry for what we're seeing, I don't know. Are we missing something? Okay, so now Robin and Giselle big head ass show up to the trip, right? Already ready to be messy because they said, oh yeah, because Ashley said it was salad tossing and stuff, and then they flashed back to Ashley on the phone, and just like I said, she was waiting to talk to somebody and tell them all the mess that was going on. She was like, and then they was doing salad, and then that's how she being extra messy. But it was funny because that's how people be when they talking to their friends and telling them some shit that just went down, okay? She was like, and I'm like, and then so they ready to be like, ooh, what happened? So then Chris helped Giselle up to their room, and then apparently, of course, she disappointed by their room. Like, who cares anyway? So Candace finally come up there. She all hugging on Robin and shit. And they go to the room and they talking about what happened. And Candace's version of the story is funny because then she was like, yeah, and then we was talking about the whole low budget thing that I said, like your mama's low budget. And then I like how Giselle was like, oh yeah, I was going to talk to you about that. And then she was like, yeah, but I didn't know about her mom before I said that. She was like, well, do we talk about moms in this group? And then Candace was like, yes, y'all be talking about Dorothy. And then I was like, no, we don't. And they laughing. And they was like, but she was talking about my mom before that. And they was like, no, not. She was talking to your mom. She wasn't talking about your mom. I'm like, okay, so is this where the breakdown in the communication came from? Because she wasn't talking about your mama. She was talking to your mama. And you took it as she was talking to your mama, talking about your mama. So you went back with your mama? I don't know. But then now she said she did see the hurt in Mia's face when she said that, and now that she knows the backstory. So but she's like, but did she see the hurt in my face? Like, girl, what you heard about? The low budget. Yours is not adding up to hers, okay? At that point, you should have been like, okay, rewind it. Let's get back on track to what's right, okay? But no, she's still like, what about what I felt, okay? I felt away, but you also have said something that's very hurtful. She's like, but I don't see nothing that Candace did that was just like, I mean, nothing that Mia said to Candace that was so hurtful. Like, your video shoot was low budget, your visual was low budget, okay? I mean, you could have came back with something so much better, like you said in your confessional. If you would have known about her mama's troubles, that you would have said more stuff about her big feet and stuff. You didn't have to bring up her mama for nothing, okay? For nothing. And I like how they kind of checked her about it. Finally, somebody checked her about it, and she kind of admitted to being wrong. And they said they heard that Mia was crying, and she was like, "Oh, did you know she was crying? She's crying." So did you care? I don't think you cared that much still. So now Wendy come into the room and she see that they there, and they're like, oh, hey. Wendy looking like, oh, nice to see y'all, knowing she damn well not happy to see their ass. And she showed it by seeming a little bit shady. And they caught it and threw it back. And then because when she came in, hey, and then here comes Giselle, smiling, nice to see that. I haven't seen that in a while. I'm like, bitch, you know what she was doing when you throw that out there. Come on now. So then Wendy tried to still be good, but then she doing all of this. Yes, hi. And then they looking at her like, okay. So apparently they don't got no restroom. So they like, so there's no restroom, so what are we gonna do? And then she's like, this room ain't got no restroom. And it's like, do it look like it's a restroom? And she's like, I don't know. I don't know. And then she said rooms wasn't assigned. Everybody just got to pick a room, and this was the room that was just left. And they was like, so what we gonna do about the bathroom? And she's like, well, it's 2 downstairs. And then the camera goes zoom into Giselle broken foot. I'm like, bitch, you gotta go ask somebody else, can you use their restroom? We got a single person, actually not single. You got a whole person that's not with a couple with a room. Go ahead and use their restroom. And then Ashley, of course, offers it, so it's fine. Okay, but then, of course, they finna make it a whole thing that the host is supposed to make this right, and then Robin is mad, talking about she gonna find a hotel. She probably can't find one, but she gonna try to find one because they was like, yeah, because she got a broken toe, and then she on her period, and then her confession, she's like, oh, it might be TMI, but when I'm on my period, I don't want to be around people, and then there's men in the house, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, should have showed up with a couple. And you should have just came, okay? If you knew it was going to have a bad attitude, bye. So they all get ready for dinner. Then they get in the car and they on the way. And somehow Mia and Candace end up next to each other. How? I don't know. G passed out. And then you got Giselle, Karen, and Ashley in the back row. And they having a good time. I was like, this is a cute little scene. And then here comes Giselle in confessional. Look at me kikiing with Karen. This is cute. I'm like, yes, this is cute. It was funny. It's just like they reverted back to just, laughing and having fun. And then, of course, Karen was like, do you know what tossing a salad is? And then Giselle's like, yes. And then they busting out laughing, right? And then they trying to tell her what teabagging is. And then she like, It was funny. This scene was funny. All this is much needed after all of that. And I like how Giselle clocks that they're all drunk because they all like saying all kind of stuff. G wakes up, and then they talking about GOV and all of this stuff. Candace looking drunk too. I'm like, oh Lord, did they start taking more drinks? Oh yeah, they did. They took more shots. They can't be doing that. Y'all can't drink too heavily in this group, okay? Y'all. And why is Robin telling everybody in the damn van that she on her period? Why? Why are we sharing this information? And Chris just said, oh. They all a drunken mess. So now they all at dinner. It's all awkward. Wendy try to say a speech, and they still saying GVO. Everybody just do GVO. Everybody have a good trip. Thank you all for coming. Blah blah blah. They all are a drunken mess, but it is funny. It would stay funny if they ain't finna have an argument, but it's coming. It is coming. They are all drunk and they chanting GVO, GVO. Well, then not all of them not drunk actually. Robin, Giselle, and Karen, and Ashley. I think Ashley might be getting there because she been drinking, but they are all sober. As sober as it can be. They more sober than the rest of them. And then Ashley trying to hook up Giselle with the dude at the table, one of the dudes from the table behind them, and she like, oh, they look nice, but no, I'm crippled. I'm like, that's a good way to shut that down, because I'd have been like, shut the hell up, Ashley. But anyway, so the guys from the table bought them all shots, and then Karen was like, this group don't need no more shots. And then apparently the people behind, the women behind them are the guys' wives. They was like, oh, y'all buy them shots, but y'all buy y'all wives shots. And then they was like, what, y'all wives? A mess. Why did men do that? And now Ashley messy ass gotta bring it back to the fight that happened earlier after Wendy did a toast and I think toast to moving on or something like that, and then everybody kind of looking sideways, and then they go, Ashley gotta bring it up. So, Chris, how do you feel? Did you want to jump in and help earlier and calm the situation down and bringing it up? And then here comes Giselle. No, Ashley, we was doing good. I'm like, Giselle was on point quite a few times this episode. I don't like it. Y'all putting me in a position where I agree with Giselle, okay? This is where you have pushed me to, okay? But she was making sense. Ashley bringing this shit up, and now that done, it opened up last year shit. It just opened up everything, and now here come Candace going off. And Chris already let's go out. Let's get out of the situation. But no, Candace, I always want to stay in the situation and make it even bigger and bigger and bigger until it just takes to the worst. Which that's why I feel like Ashley was trying to say too, because she also did. That was a good point when she was like, you just did the same thing by putting your hands in Mia's face as well. And then you're going to tell her, I've been there, you haven't. And I didn't even catch that. And I like how they rewinded it back for us to see it. And then Ashley's face was like, oh. So yeah, you ain't learned your lesson, basically. You didn't learn your lesson. And now you're kind of threatening her like you bought it, and you not, okay? You're not, okay? But then she was trying to tell Ashley that her getting involved in the legal stuff was some bottom of the barrel shit, whatever. No, it wasn't. And that didn't even stop. I don't even think that affected the whole case like that. Like, all they had to do was review the footage. That's all it was. Both of y'all was at fault too. Okay, but then Ashley, in her confessional, saying the common denominator in both situations is Candace, which is true. You know why? Because Candace don't know how to be a mature adult and talk out her feelings without being irate. All I see is Candace being immature. That's point blank and period. Candace is being immature and don't know how to just say how she feeling, even though Mia threw shade at her. All you have to do is throw some regular ass shade back. You ain't have to throw nothing about her mama. You didn't have to go that far, okay? But whatever. Everybody gonna feel how they gonna feel. Drop down in the comments, let me know how you feel. Shit, how did you see it? We all gonna see shit differently around here, okay? And Ashley also brought up how Candace called her Michael a slave driver, and then she's like, so basically you're calling me a slave, and that's when they show back when she called him her overseer and shit like that. I'm like, oh goodness, Candace, you one of the people that put your foot in your mouth too. Like, Amelia does the same thing, so I'm kind of over this. This episode was more a lot than like funny and entertaining to me. I feel like the fight last year was more entertaining. Then as they going back and forth, Chris get mad, he leaves, and then Scarlett's husband go out to talk to him, and he basically saying that, you know, it's all bullshit. He tired of this shit. It happen every time. And I'm like, finally, you saying something, shit. You need to tell your wife you getting tired of that. You getting tired of trying to calm her ass down because she don't know how to sit there and calmly express her emotions, okay? They mentioned something about a clear, I don't know. And then it's not even about Mia. And then she's like, no, that's your friend. And then Mia was like, she's like, oh, she's so annoying. She's like, I'm like, yeah, you want to whoop her ass, don't you? That's what it is. She's so annoying and immature. That's what it is. Bottom line, she's annoying and immature. Candace and Mia kind of having a little back and forth thing, and Karen was like, if anybody's hand come back across my face again, I'm biting it. I'm like, girl, that's a good way to stop it, because then they was going in front of her like her and her. I'm like, girl, stop all that shit in front of my face, okay? But so, and then Chris still out there, and he mad, and he's saying like, she finally come out there. Oh yeah, that was funny too. When she was like, yeah, you might need to go check on your husband. And then Candace was like, shut up. Like she couldn't say nothing else. Girl, shut up. So then she go out to Chris. And then Chris was like, just can you please, I know you don't want to be, but can you please just be the bigger person for once? Just let some shit go. I'm like, boy, is these the conversations you always having, or this is the first one? If this is the first one, bravo, because that is what she needs to hear. Like, that is literally what she needs to do. She needs to let some shit go, because she be holding on tight. She holding on hard, and you can tell. Because that's the only reason why she unleashed like that. You only unleash like that because you got all kind of shit going on with yourself. Get it together, Candace. Get it together. And then they come back to the table, and then also you got Giselle, Robin, and Ashley saying how she learned the damn thing from last year. Last year was in vain, especially if she did that when we're putting her hand in front of Mia's face. But I do feel like Mia's hand was in her face first, but I don't know, their hands was both in each other's face, so I guess it's a debate about everything. Her hand was in her face first. I don't even feel like doing this shit again. I just want to move on to the next thing. So if y'all want to drop it down in the comments, let me know what y'all think about the episode, what y'all saw. That's cool, but don't come at me with no bullshit. Y'all gonna have y'all view. I'm gonna have my view, what we probably see. Maybe I agree to disagree. All right, and that's the end of the episode. That is in my review for Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 6, Episode 14. Drop down in the comments. Let me know what y'all thought about the episode, what y'all view was. You know, we'll see. We'll talk about it, all right? Like, comment, and subscribe to Be Like the channel, okay?